Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy, Golden Falls, Golden What Ifs, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back. This is the finale of What If Tanjiro had lightning manipulation, and if you enjoy, please show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And yeah, this is the finale. I have a lot to talk about, so I don't really want to waste much more of your time. With that said, let's get right into the What If. Let's get it. Tanjiro Kamado has defeated Upper Moon 3 Akaza. And at the end of the battle, he walks over to his two comrades that sit in complete and utter shock and awe at the power that was revealed to them. And they can see something on the face of Tanjiro that seems to be out of the ordinary. It seems to be a marking that stretches across his face, and a marking that has consumed part of his forehead that looks like flames, like red flames, and maybe even the burning passion of oneself. The Demon Slayer mark has revealed itself, and Tanjiro didn't even realize it during the battle. And of course, they ask about it. They ask what happened. They ask everything that occurred. But Tanjiro himself, well, he stands there, stares at them, and before he can even utter a single word, he would collapse and pass out on the ground. A passed out Tanjiro would be taken and brought back to the Hashira mansion, and the Hashira, or the whoever is left over with the Hashira, would then be told exactly what occurred and exactly, well, what happened. That Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, has perished, but there's a silver lining in the stars, and that's that Upper Moon 3 Akaza was slain. The first Upper Moon in a very long time to be defeated, and it's the third strongest of them all. Well, excluding Muzan, of course. Now, this is a monumentous moment, a moment that is going to be remembered forever, and a moment that would even shake Muzan to his core. Because when he would await the arrival of Akaza, and he never would come back, he would have a realization that this Tanjiro person, Tanjiro himself, is more of a threat than he possibly could have imagined. And the visions he saw of Yorichi connecting to the one and only Tanjiro, well, let's just say they were not a fluke. Tanjiro is something that he should fear to an extent, even if it's something that he doesn't want to admit, at least not right now. He doesn't want to admit that Tanjiro is a threat, but he is a massive threat, and it even puts them in a very awkward position for the idea of even eliminating the rest of the Demon Slayers and the Hashira alike. But while all of this is going on, while all of this is happening, Tanjiro is now training, getting prepared, and readying himself for what is next. And what is next? Well, a deeming of him becoming a Hashira himself. They're not sure what he is necessarily. He is a sun breather, but he is someone who yields lightning, so they call him the Lightning Hashira, even though he does utilize the art of sun breathing. But a Lightning Hashira seems to be more concrete with what he's capable of doing. It seems like it's a lot more concrete to call him the one and only Lightning Hashira instead of saying otherwise and saying that he is just the sun-breathing Hashira. Now, with that said, this would put him on a collision course to a brand new time of basically mission with the one and only Tengen Uzui. But the idea of the Demon Slayer mark being awakened a lot sooner is something that everybody is taking very seriously, especially because Tanjiro begins to train with many of the Hashira and many of the other people trying to awaken this Demon Slayer mark. On top of this, when they head off to the mission with Tengen Uzui, this mission is a lot different than you could imagine. This mission, well, it's also taking on another upper moon. But here's the thing. With Tanjiro's experience, with his ability, I mean, this upper moon is going to be way less threatening than the one and only Akaza. So when they would arrive, when all three of them, when Nezuko, Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu go off with Tengen Uzui, and they're trying to find this demon within the brothel. After a lot of struggle and a lot of basically trying to find them, eventually they would find the demon. And this demon would be caught because Zenitsu is basically trying to protect somebody, and he would get captured early on. And of course, that's when it would ensue a battle between Daki and Tanjiro. But this fight is one that Daki should fear, because in one flash, when one glimpse of lightning would bolt toward her, he would slice her neck clean off with his lightning blade, or lightning induced blade, and she would collapse to the ground immediately. But Tanjiro would be shocked when he would see that she is not dead from a slice of the head. And this would really shock Tanjiro, him thinking that this is something he wasn't expecting. Yes, don't get me wrong, he did see Akaza start mildly fighting without his head, but then it was just over. He stopped. So he doesn't understand how this even came to be or what even happened. But now he's realizing that some of these demons have a little extra couple tricks up their sleeves if they're not careful. And this would be when the one and only Gyutaro would reveal himself. Someone who is even stronger than Daki. But with the help of Tengen, and basically with the help of two Hashiras now, having both Tanjiro and Tengen, they battle together, and with their in-sync movements, let's just say Daki is not a problem by any means. And if Inosuke and Zenitsu actually enter the fight, where they're able to hold off Daki for the most part, Inosuke and Zenitsu can take over the brunt of the attack from Daki and make it so it's a very easy 2 versus 1 against Gyutaro. Being that Tengen's able to keep up with him in speed for the most part, and, well, Tanjiro is going to overwhelm him in speed when he gets the opening. And as they both go to slash down the another upper moon, and as they're about to finish them off, Tengen himself would even awaken his Demon Slayer mark as they slice through the neck of Gyutaro, and Zenitsu and Inosuke would look to slice through the neck of Daki. As they're about to slice through her neck, a bolt of lightning would then clash with Zenitsu's sword at the same time, and it would make an even more potent attack, shocking through the entire body of Daki. And as they both get their necks sliced in half, it would be the end of the two brother and sister duo, and another upper moon would come crashing off the charts. And this is where things get shaky for Muzan and all of the demons, because that is another one of the strongest pair of demons they have in the gutter, and gone for good. They realize now that this is a very, very, very interesting spot to be in, and that is a nice way to put it, because at the end of the day, this is something that is very, very bad for Muzan. He hasn't been in a position like this in a long time, especially not a bad position like this since maybe even Yoriichi himself. So when all of them go back to the Butterfly Mansion, and of course this would ensue in Tengen actually taking his quote-unquote leave. Of course, this is, he would take his leave, and he would kind of say this is going to be his retirement. And a lot of people would disagree, but he would say they have a amazing new Hashira in Tanjiro. And yes, they are going to lose 2 for 1, but maybe the kid is even better than 2 of them combined in the first place. In which Tanjiro would tell him that he's not going to let him down. He's going to make sure to be the strongest he possibly can be. And a lot of people, well, let's just say, are pretty convinced Tanjiro can be that way. But some of the other Hashira, like Shinobu, even say that if he wants to be, stronger than he could possibly imagine, it would probably be good for him to take a visit to the swordsmith's village so that he can more or less train with some of the things that are over there and get some work in with maybe another Hashira or two, and so on and so forth. They would bring up that Mitsuri and Muchiro would actually be heading over to the swordsmith's village as well. And let's just say this is when a lot of things would happen, because this is when they believe, or when the demons believe, or is their only true chance at coming and striking down and making this opportunity for themselves, because they've already lost Akaza, they've already lost Gyutaro, and now they need to have this opening to shut down the Demon Slayer's advantage, and even Muzan admits this to a mass degree. So when Tanjiro's over there, he's not there for a new sword or anything like that. He's there to actually train with the Yorichi Type 0, in which he gets a lot stronger from training with the Yorichi Type 0, learning more about his lightning manipulation, being able to channel it a lot better throughout his body, and on top of that, makes his experience with sun breathing a hell of a lot better as well. But as always, things that go good will always come to an end, and that's the same thing when dealing with demons, because as night would strike and as the time would pass, it would now be time for the demons to attack. And that's exactly what would occur. Hantengu and another demon by the name of Gyoko would reveal themselves and would begin their assault on the swordsmith's village. Now, the swordsmith's village is pretty damn well protected, being that you have Muchiro, Tanjiro, and also Mitsuri there, and it seems like Muchiro is going to take on Gyoko on his own. So that leaves Tanjiro, Nezuko, Genya, and Mitsuri to take on the demon by the name of Hantengu. But Tanjiro is in a perfect position to take on this demon himself. For starters, he begins by, fighting the normal demon, and of course the demon would grow into different parts of himself. But here's the thing. With Tanjiro's lightning and electricity, it seems as if he's able to actually dismantle the demon a lot quicker than you could possibly imagine. And there's a realization extremely quickly that the real body that they're looking for, the main body, is extremely, extremely small, and Tanjiro is going to have to actually execute that tiny little piece of him, and that's exactly how you would defeat them. Now, after butchering Hantengu and the many manifestations of Hantengu, eventually he would merge, or all of them would merge into a transformation of the true manifestation of the upper four's hatred. And that, let's just say, would be a spectacular performance, at least for him, giving off abilities that have never been seen before with these giant stone dragons. But Tanjiro is not giving in, and he makes it clear that there's a reason why he was a lower rank than even Akaza, because he didn't stand a chance in the first place, in which Tanjiro would dash up with Mitsuri as he would connect his lightning and his static electricity with Mitsuri as well, making her a lot faster and making him a lot faster. And as they reveal their own foreheads, the Demon Slayer mark would reveal itself once again, and they would come barreling and striking down this giant, monstrous thing of a manifestation in terms of Hantengu. But Tanjiro would get the information of being told that he actually needs to strike down a specific part of Hantengu, and he's able to actually reach this part of him extremely quick. Extremely quick. So Tanjiro butchers his way through and looks for the opening blow, but it seems like even the dragons, or the giant wooden-like dragons, or the giant stone-like dragons, are not giving up just yet. and it seems as if there's a little last leg of this manifestation holding on for his last bit and his last crusade, as he sends basically this crazed amount toward Tanjiro, trying to stop him from actually killing the true part of him that needs to be shut down. But Tanjiro's speed is too much, and as the lightning would strike down and as lightning would cover the area, which would be a perfect time for Tanjiro to now strike as he looks to cut off the head of the true part of Hantengu. It seems as if the opening just continues to close on itself over and over again. But eventually he would find that opening. Eventually he would find that timing. But he would see something that he would never expect in the first place, and that's a last hurrah. But that's not from the Demon Slayers. It's not from him, but it's from one of the dragons that was created. And as he's killing the true form of Hantengu, the dragon grabs Nezuko and drags her out into the open area where the sun, as it's rising, would continue to cover her. Tanjiro would immediately run over as he goes to cover Nezuko after killing Hantengu and defeating him with his lightning blade, and he goes to cover her up, trying to cover her from the sun. But as he does, he can tell that parts of her are still getting burned. But then as he sees these small parts of her getting burned, well, then the burns would begin to change, as out of nowhere the burns would begin to heal themselves. And as the burns begin to heal themselves, a realization would come over Tanjiro, and he would realize that his sister is immune to the sun. Now this right here is the transition into, well, Muzan wanting to find exactly where Nezuko is, but with how many of his demons already felled and gone, with Akaza already gone, with an upper moon already gone, with multiple upper moons already defeated and completely obliterated, and the preparation and the skills and the power that Tanjiro is portraying, this might not be enticing enough for him to truly come out of hiding. Muzan doesn't know if they truly can defeat all of these demon slayers, especially with somebody with powers that seem to be on the level of a god gift or a god-given gift. So it's either one of two choices for Tanjiro, or for Muzan to Tanjiro. Does he decide to take the risk and kill all the or try to kill all the demon slayers and be felled right then and there, or does he wait another 100, 200, and 300 years and give them the time to evolve even further? Well, Muzan himself would show his cowardice and would show how much of a coward he truly is, because when Nezuko would reveal what she truly is and the being immune to the sun, Muzan would think to himself that he needs more time, that he needs to wait. But he doesn't know that waiting was all of the wrong choice, because a cure for demons is being created, and the more time they give them, the better the cure gets. And if he decides to show his face anytime soon in the next 20, 30 years, yes, the demon slayers may be gone and they may be vanquished. Shoot, maybe Nezuko would be the only one to survive next to them, or maybe Nezuko would be alive when they're gone. It wouldn't matter, because there are many other people carrying on that burden and carrying that staple, and making sure that if Muzan ever shows up, that the usage of the cure would be put into full effect. And the Demon Slayer, and it's obvious to see that the Demon Slayer strength and disparity would continue on, especially through the bloodline of Tanjiro Kamado. But for now, that is the end of this story, the end of What If Tanjiro had lightning manipulation. And if you enjoyed, show some love, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos, or the video and the videos. And I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.